welcome to a very dark and cold Thursday night. I'm headed to go to town to get something for dinner because it has been a swelteringly busy day and I'm hungry. I didn't eat lunch today, and all I had today was a few pieces of pepperoni and a cup of black coffee. So I think it's probably time that I put food in my mouth. Also, I'm in the car and realized that I have not recorded anything yet today. Oddly enough, during a conversation about my shoulder, which is hurting, from possibly where I fell off my bike, and the doctor didn't do a good job inspecting me and left gravel in my chin when he stitched me up. Yeah. Speaking of which, hey, I have a question for you. Joe? Joe?
What?
Question, have you ever had stitches?
No.
No? Really? You grew up in the woods in the redneckness like I did. You never had...
I've had butterfly stitches, but I've never had...
What is a butterfly stitch?
Fly, really thick tape that they use to hold wounds together.
So it's just tape. Huh. I didn't know what that was. You'd think I would know what that was. I was a Boy Scout. We had to learn these kind of things. So I thought I could have swore you would... Have you broken anything? Never broke anything either?
Nope.
I haven't either. Knock on wood. There's no wood in the car. But, oh, actually there is wood in the car. Knock on the bench. Knock on the bench. I forgot. We brought the bench home from the cabin. We replaced the bench that was up there with a new metal one. And we were looking at this one and he was all like, well, I think I'm going to take it home and fix it. So we're going to bring it home and try to repair it and make it usable again. But for personal use only, of course. Really? I've never broken a bone, fortunately.
Are you off your medication?
What do you mean?
You are all over the place.
What do you mean I'm all over the place? This is how most of my videos are. Why do you think nobody watches? I'm also still recording, if you didn't realize. Nobody watches, that's why. It's because I can't pick a subject and stay on. But I was talking about stitches, and I asked you if you'd have ever had stitches. And you said no, you had those butterwing fly stitches, which aren't real stitches, which is just tape. And then I was like, oh yeah, but I've had real stitches because I licked the pavement with my chin. That's right, I licked pavement with my chin. It's really gross too.
I grew up on a dirt road. We didn't have pavement.
I grew up on a church-ish road. We had church-ish.
We also didn't go to the doctors.
Well, when you can
if you
see...
were gushing blood, you were told to walk it off.
When you can go to the house to pick out the gravel and you realize that you can see your chin bone sticking out, I think it's probably time to go to the doctor.
My daddy probably would have poured his beer in it.
My dad said, oh, it's fine. Just put some cold water on it.
Yep, sounds like mine.
My mom was like, I can see his chin bone. So, yeah. My dad, but let's talk about how caring and loving my parents were. So I have this horrible bike wreck. My jaw is swollen. I can't chew. I can't talk. I mean, I can, but it wasn't very well. I was stitched up, swollen, black and blue. I had a beard at the time. I was in high school. What did I know? I had a beard at the time, and I didn't want them to shave it. So they only shaved the spot where they had to do the stitches. So talk about how stupid I looked. Here I am. I think it was Wednesday. I wanted to not go to school because I had this gigantic, gauze pad strapped across my face. If I wasn't already enough of an outcast and a reject in high school, send me to school with a gauze pad strapped to my face for 3 days or a week. Talk about some classy stuff. But to make things worse, when Friday hits, because it happened on a late Wednesday, so when Friday afternoon hits, I find out that my parents, instead of staying home with me, who can't really fend for myself because of this chin issue, says, oh, by the way, we're going out of town. We got to go to a casino. Do you know what my mom bought me to survive on food that weekend?
Food?
No. She bought me a gallon of milk and a box of Reese's Puff cereal. Don't get me wrong, she normally was very caring, but when the slot machine's involved, you know how that works. Joe knows my mother very well, and, well, if you mention
At least
slot.
you got Reese's Puffs.
I did get Reese's Puffs. They weren't generic.
It could have been Malta Meal in the bag.
You know what? At least Malta-Meal would have made me through the whole weekend. I'm a big guy. I was a big guy. Well, I wasn't really big then, but I like to eat a lot. I'm just like, a little more food would have been good. I think I ate a can of green beans that weekend, too. Just a random can of green beans. It was a good time. It was a good time. No worse than the time that she accidentally cut my hair the wrong way. So you're getting story time, by the way, because I couldn't film anything else today. Story time. My mom, right before picture day, I say, hey, I need a haircut. That right there alone should be a signal and a sign that something about this is fixing to go terribly wrong. So I say, hey, Mom, I need a haircut. She's like, oh, why? And I was like, picture day. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let's cut it. And I was like, salon, barber. She's like, no, I've got these clippers from where I cut your dad's hair. Keep in mind, she cuts my dad's hair on a 2-guard overall everywhere. Same guard she uses on the dog. So she's like, yeah, well, I can do it. I got some scissors and we'll just trim it up. That all sentence right there still just brings terror to my heart. So I sit down because, of course, I'm a minor and I don't really have much say in the matter. She starts trimming and she starts cutting. And she breaks out the clippers, and I hear her trimming the sides. And she says, don't move now, I've got the guard off. I'm terrified. I'm sitting as still as a stick in concrete. I couldn't think of a really good analogy on that one, my bad. So I'm sitting there and stick in concrete and not moving at all. She clears her throat, and I feel her elbow bump my shoulder. And the next thing I hear is, I nearly threw up. She's like, you moved. I said, I didn't move. She said, you hit my elbow. I'm like, I didn't move. She's like, well, I can fix it. 2 seconds later, I'm like, that doesn't sound like you're fixing it. It sounds like you're making it worse. 30 seconds later, another. She said, I think I've done all I can do. I don't want to mess it up anymore. And she put everything away. Joe, do you know what happened when I walked in the bathroom? I screamed. You know why I screamed? Because she shaved half of my head.
Girl, you look good.
From a distance. Like, I didn't even look good from a distance. I look good from, like, China to Tennessee distance. She shaved half of my head. Not even all half of it. Just, like, half of it. Like a hand's worth of hair.
That would have been a style in the 80s when you were
First off, I almost called you words again. I was not in school in the 80s when I got this haircut, thank you. Some of us are not old as Methuselah, like you. Nonetheless, I did not order yearbook pictures that year, and my picture was absent from the yearbook as I refused to get my picture taken. She also learned her lesson to never cut my hair again. Yeah, good time.
Or did she?
She did.
Bum, bum, bum.
Shoot, I wouldn't let her near my hair if she tried. She thought she knew what she was doing. She got right. Now, unlike me, right? I've cut Chris's hair several times. Now, mind you, I have no training whatsoever. I just know what somewhat looks good. I've cut Chris's hair several times. Now, Joe's doesn't count because Joe doesn't have but like 3 hairs. But Chris has a lot of hair. And I've cut his hair several times, and it's always turned out good. Even, well faded, no lines, no wrinkles, no muss, no fuss. I never shaved half of his head off. I mean, with Chris, if you shaved half of it off, nobody would really notice, but ew, I didn't do that bad of a job. Yeah. Good times of growing up with your mom wanting to cut your hair. Come on, your mom cut your hair too. I'm sure she did. Didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Did she screw up like mine did? No. I don't know what it is about moms feeling like they need to be beauticians on their kids. I don't know if that's just a country thing, like where we grew up in the woods and everybody's like, let's save $1.50 and not go to the barber. I'm like, that's like my mom buying me those generic Nikes. I wanted
yard sale.
I wanted Nikes. No, they didn't come from a yard sale. They come from a discount shoe store that was in a little shop next to the gas station.
The region.
That was only there for about a year and a half. I wanted Nikes so bad, and she bought me some, and they were the most hideous shoes I've ever seen. I think she still has them. Honestly, I think no joke. I think they're in a box in her storage facility. I really think she still has them because they were hideous. They were white, purple, and black, and I swear they were two left shoes.
Pretty.
But one of them, no joke, one of them looked like it was turning, like it should have been a left shoe, but it wasn't. It was a defect. I think she paid $6 for them, $5 for them, or something. And yeah, I wore them like twice. They hurt your right foot because the shoe was turned to the left. So it was a whole thing. Good times, good times. I'm sorry, Mom, if you watch this. I doubt she'll ever watch it because she barely knows how to function YouTube, I think. So we're good. Anyway, enough story time. I've wasted 11 minutes of your life. I hope you laughed a little. I hope you cried a little, mostly because you wasted your life. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, unsubscribe or whatever. It's been a bad week anyway, so I mean, a loss of a subscriber is not going to really hurt my feelings much more. Yeah, good times. Anyway, I'm going to go eat. I will see you guys on the other side. Till tomorrow.